Well, we're back from Ireland. To be fair, we've been back a couple of weeks, but we've just chilled out.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
we
if you
have.
have seen us, we've been doing nothing, but we've been chilling out, seeing people, seeing friends, going to festivals, went to Vanlife Eats, that was great. Went to Van Vibes, that was great. You all need to go there next year. Lovely thing, lovely place, and the amount of weather and rain we had, well...
That was something else. It was quite
Yeah.
spectacular, wasn't it?
One main thing about that place with the weather,
The grass.
you wouldn't have even known it rained. Now, if you don't know, we're at Will's unit, because why not? Friends with benefits.
We weren't 100% sure that we could get the van in here, but Eva sits in there quite nicely, don't you think?
We've got two major jobs to do. One's an upgrade. Remember the incident with a certain gas bottle? It could have killed people.
We're very lucky.
That is our gas tank, and that is a full gas tank as well. So what's happened is this bar that's on the top here, which is bolted up to the top up there, the front one has snapped. Well, we replaced one of the actual bars underneath the van while we were in Ireland. We left the other one because we couldn't be arsed.
It wasn't so much that, it's when you're on the road not having somewhere to fix things. It's a little bit more tricky, isn't it?
Also,
I don't know.
this is not thin bar, so trying to bend another one was a nightmare. We've got to get the old one off, we've got to jack the van up, get it on axle stands, because I know you lot love an axle stand, and you
Or
love
two.
telling me, and Will's got big ones.
Some of these boys.
They're the ones,
Yeah?
people like me using them. So the next upgrade, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, Emma's got a job to do.
I think someone's a little bit hungry, so I'm going to go in and feed the puppers.
You all hungry? Also, while we were at Van Vibes, well, Emma got an upgrade. Hey?
I bet you lot were thinking I got rid of him and got an upgrade, didn't you? No. You can't upgrade perfection.
That's absolute bullshit. So we've got the EcoFlow alternator charger. Now, before we get into this, I'm going to say something. These are great if you want to charge your power banks, but heed this warning. Before we start, these units are fantastic. They can put into 800 watts into your power bank or into your AC unit battery while you're on the go. Now, 800 watts is quite a lot of power. It's a lot of amps. Now, your van needs amps to run. You also need amps to charge your living quarters as well, so your leisure battery, things like that. If you've already got a small alternator, like 100 amps, something like that, you can't have this on 800 watts, also run the van, also charge your leisure batteries as well. There's got to be a give, because your alternator just can't handle it. So check what alternator you've got, check what power you're drawing off for your actual van, check what amps you're pulling off for your leisure battery system, then add this on top of it. You may need to basically stop one from working. That's what we're doing, because we know that our alternator, even though we've upgraded, isn't going to run the van, isn't going to charge the leisure battery system, and isn't going to pull 800 watts or whatever we want off the EcoFlow system to charge the power bank. Just not going to do it. Now, we're going to be doing it a little bit different to probably most people. I want the ability to completely stop the power going to the Orions in the rear of the van, charging up the actual leisure battery, and I want to be able to divert the extra power from the alternator, which we do have an upgraded one, to this. So I'm going to fit a great big switch, so I can have EcoFlow or I can have leisure battery, and that way it's foolproof. Anyway, right, let's get this open and let's see what's in the box. So inside the actual packaging, you do have two boxes. This one looks like it's the cables, and then this one is the unit itself. Now, these units, like I said, are absolutely brilliant. The bonus about them is it's literally foolproof. It's two connections to your battery, and then you plug your power bank into this and it'll charge you when you're on the run, giving you a lot more power than what you would get off a cigarette lighter, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And then in this one, you have got all the cables you're going to need to do the job. Now, I haven't even opened this yet, and I can tell you that these cables are thick as they come. Typically, EcoFlow, everything is absolutely monsterish. So, this cable will be the one that goes to your charger, and then this one will go to wherever you're charging. And then there's the main cable you connect to your battery. It could not be any simpler. An earth, and you've got a positive. So it's literally 2 cables to connect. And then this end, again, will plug in the charger. You've also got an inline fuse as well. So this one will go to the actual positive. Then here you will connect that cable. And then this one will go to your negative on your vehicle's battery. Now I'm going to mount this under the driver's seat. There's going to be a reason for that. Like I said before, I'm going to be fitting a big switch. Now the big switch will be on the front of the driver's seat, and that will have the main cable, which will be fused, go into the battery. Then off that big switch we will have 2 points of contact. One will be going to the EcoFlow. One will be going to the EcoFlow unit. The other one will be going to the very back of the van where the Victron Orions are, charging the battery. Great. And on the front you got a dial. On, off, on, off. First job we got to do is get on the passenger side, take out where the battery is, get access to the battery, and then we need to disconnect our leisure battery system from the actual battery. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull one big cable, which will be fused from the battery over to the switch. Then from the switch we will go back over to the leisure battery system. So the batteries that are in the back of the vehicle, the switch will go from there to the back. Then the switch will also go from the switch to the EcoFlow system, all powered by the van's alternator via the battery. Do you get that? So battery to switch, switch to leisure system, switch to EcoFlow.
Right, okay, so while Neil's faffing about with all the EcoFlow cables and electrics and all that I know nothing about, I'm going to get the van jacked up, pumped up there, so I can get underneath, put the axle stands under, and we can finish off the gas tank that we didn't do in Ireland. Okay, so on the other side of the gas tank, on the other bracket, we've got a bolt this side, and then there's another 2 bolts on the other side of the gas tank which need to come off. So I've got my 17mm spanner to undo these bolts and get the bracket off. The gas tank hopefully shouldn't move because it's on this bracket, and I've got this underneath just to be double safe. So I'm going to have a go at getting this off, and then we'll come back to you.
That is going to be everything off. Position 1 right there is going to feed the Victron Orions in the boot of the van. Position 2 is only going to feed the EcoFlow, making the Orions stop working. We do have some cables, so we've got one main cable which comes into the very bottom, which goes all the way over and goes to the battery. We've got a second cable which again goes all the way over and connects to the feed for the Orions. And then this cable here, which has this fuse on it, which comes with the actual pack that you get at EcoFlow, that is going to go to the unit. The unit's going to sit in there. Right, this cable has been shortened and it is now connected. So we've got it right on there to the fuse that comes with the actual unit. That's been screwed down to the floor, and then we've got the earth on there, which will do absolutely fine. I have mounted ours basically flat. There's a lip on the seat there, and I've mounted it flat in there, and then that way I've got entrance to the connections there. Once them connections are in, you need a special tool, which I'll show you in a minute, to get them out. So the special key that you get, that's that. Now what this does is, when you plug in your actual ports into the actual EcoFlow alternator charger, they lock on. This little key will slot in there like that, and then you'll be able to get the ports off. So don't lose this, because it's going to be a nightmare to disconnect it. Keep it somewhere safe. They are in. So that one is in, and now we just need the one that goes from there, which is going to come out the back of the seat here, and that will charge wherever we need. Right, we're done with the battery compartment now, so the lid can go back on there, the floor can go back in, and that can all get tidied away. The cable that comes out of the charger goes over this piece of metal here. That's got quite a sharper edge on it, so I've put a piece of plastic pipe over there just to stop it digging into the metal, and then I've just basically cable tied it down to there like that, and that's just going to sit literally behind there on that ledge, because this ledge here doesn't get used for nothing. Now, once it's all in, once it's all done, once it's all secure, once everything's tidied away and it's all sorted, then the next thing to do is to open your EcoFlow app on your phone, get the app open, go in to whatever you're going to charge. So in this case, we're charging up the Delta 2 Max. You need to go in there, press on the little cog. Now, I've already done this. Scroll all the way down to firmware. Click on your firmware, see if there's an update. There probably will be. Update the firmware on whatever device. So whatever device you're using to charge up, check the firmware. Then go into the actual alternator charger. So click on the alternator charger. It says on ours now, device is connected. We need to go and turn it on. Do the same thing. Click on the cog on the top, scroll down, go to firmware update, check if there's a firmware update, and then you know that everything you're using is all up to date. Right, let's go. Right, once it's all connected, you might need a dolly to give you a hand with the next process. I don't know, not sure, but Dolly's going to be giving us a hand doing the next one. You okay? Yeah, okay, love you too. Right, once it's all in, get your power bank or whatever you're, you okay? Or do you want to tell them? No? Thank you, love you. Get your power bank, and then your lead that comes off your actual alternator charger, that'll plug into the side of the port of whatever device you're going to use. Don't forget, that's the port that goes into the actual power bank. So not all the EcoFlow range have them. The bigger ones have them. You need to make sure that you've got that port on your EcoFlow that you can charge. On the Delta 2 Max, you've got two on the side there that you can fit two different batteries. So we'll just plug it into this one here, and it will literally just plug in the side, just like that. Now, once it's plugged in, nothing will show on the screen, absolutely nothing at all. But once we start the engine and we open the app, then we can go into the app and we can see how much power it's pulling off, and we can adjust the power on the scale for what we want to go into the actual EcoFlow system. Don't forget, on our system, we will flick our switch, so only the alternator is powering the EcoFlow system and not the leisure battery system. That is important because we don't want to overload the alternator, do we? That would be bad, wouldn't it? We don't want to do that. No. What do you say? No. Right, so the next part of the process, we're going to need a smaller dash hound, which is Raven, and she's going to be helping us do the next part of the actual job, aren't you? Maybe not, because she's a bit of a nightmare. Anyway, let's get the switch turned. What we will do is we'll take our switch, which is on the orange, which is charging the leisure batteries, and then we will turn this all the way around to EcoFlow, and that way we know that the alternator charger for the EcoFlow is going to get power. Next, turn your engine on. Right, now that your engine's running and your EcoFlow system is all running fine, you can then open your app up. Alternator charger's there. It will tell you in the very top what current and what voltage your alternator is putting off. We're currently putting off 14.7 volts. The power going into the unit is 200 watts. Now, if we click on the cog at the top, you will see you've got maximum power output. Now, that is on the little slider, as you can see. So we could have 100 watts. We could go up to 800 watts. We don't want to do that. So we're just going to leave it on 300 watts. That's putting in the power into your battery bank, and it's charging it while you're driving. Dead simple, dead easy, and you can see it on the screen what it's doing, and it just works. Now, you do have a reverse charge system as well, which if you click on that, what it will do is it will take the power from the actual EcoFlow battery power system and it will put it into your vehicle. Now, that's a bit of a bonus if you've got a flat battery. So you can actually technically charge your van up off the EcoFlow system. Now, also a good thing in the actual alternator app as well is if you go into the settings part and you go into the start voltage, you can choose when you want the actual unit to come on. So, you know, if you want it to come on at 14 volts when you know the whole system's working, you know it's not going to pull any power off your actual van's battery, do that. Most people will probably have it on 13 volts. That's about average. You know, 13 volts will start your vehicle. 13 volts is a good average to have your vehicle's battery at. You won't have any problems with that. So set that 13 volts. You can rename the device by going into the top there, call it whatever you want, and then obviously you've got firmware, specifications and help center. And don't forget, when you do get one, register it with EcoFlow so you get the guarantee. These things do come with a guarantee, you make the most of it.
Right, so that was a horrible job, but I managed to get it done. I'm a little bit dirty, but yeah, got it done. All on my own. Okay. I may have had to enlist some brute force.
That was a pain in the arse.
There's no way I could have done it on my own.
When you consider we've gone from like 2.5 mil steel to like 5 mil, which doesn't want to bend. And literally we got the bracket under, and the bend we had on it was
millimeters out, wasn't it?
I'd probably say 4 mil out.
Yeah.
And you try and bend, oh my god.
So I might have had to call the big guns in.
That was a nightmare. We even had to have a break for a sandwich. I don't even know what I'll buy me or on me.
It's no, it's same. It's absolutely vile.
What is going on with my hair?
I thought you were going for the windswept Einstein look today.
What the
Oh no, it's like an 80s perm that's gone. But thank you so much for your help.
It's a pleasure.
But we wouldn't have needed to do that if someone had never broke it in the first place.
He ain't going to break now, is he? Let's be honest.
Oh, we've got a little friend. I mean, you could have come and helped us.
Now go on, fuck off now because she'll end up keeping you. Right, well that was an absolute nightmare. But at least we know now that the gas tank is all up, it's all secure, and it's going nowhere until it goes somewhere. But anyway, EcoFlow units in as well, so we can charge power banks when we go places or when we take the air conditioning unit, which won't be needing that in a while, will we? But it's done anyway. If you do want to know more about EcoFlow, links will be in the description. And yes, they did send it to us because we do work with EcoFlow. It's been handy having this unit though, hasn't it?
Well, borrowing it.
Cheers, Will.
Thank you,
I
William.
mean, we've got a key now and you just come back anytime you want. So, right, you got a plan, haven't you?
I have got a plan. I am a girl with a plan.
Emma's got a plan. So, the next video should be very interesting.
Exciting times ahead.
I've just farted, you can smell it.
Yes, I can.
Awful,
I need to go and clean the van. And I think...
Yeah, well, one of us has been scrubbing underneath the van. Hang on a minute. Right, how'd you get in that state when you've done nothing?
You liar. Who got the bar out? Who got the bar out? Who was it? Was it you?
No. Matt. Pickle, who was it? Any ideas?
Who was it? Yeah, you all know it was your mum, yeah.
Right, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, big
what?
chubby hands. You couldn't get it out.
Beg your pardon.